e tabua ya usi sambe mo rekan roka adoro mo kan tabua anto tele taka na warro na Pula FM namba 2 ena sir
Bula nanga go ilimo do tele taka na FM na go sa sector to na Pula FM
Bula o tsempo ni valu ngone ni kandabu ni mokisa o bachiku na sinu ando tele taka bali na warro na Pula FM na bantu ena sir
oh lorima na gagi suka lambasa to do tele taka na Bula FM na bantu ena sir
Bula FM.
FBC News, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. In this bulletin, government freezes goodwill payments to traditional owners of fishing grounds. Military welcomes its new commander-in-chief. And work begins on new housing subdivision in Nasinu. It was a historic occasion in Nasinu when the Minister for Housing officiated the groundbreaking ceremony for the Nepani residential subdivision today. Praveen Kumar says the new subdivision, once finished, will provide homes for more than 400 families. Akosita Tale was at the ceremony and files this report.
Civil construction work began today at the new Nepani residential subdivision. When complete, it will provide homes to 427 families and 177 lots for those that want to build their own homes. There will be pre-built housing units for 250 families.
Housing Authority is funding this project through internal fund of 6.37 million. The development of this nature means more construction, which means more jobs, means a better economy. Keep it going here in Nepani and all across the country.
At this time, the Housing Authority has 18,000 leasehold residential properties, and there is a backlog of 15,000 applications from families wanting to own their own homes. The government says this will be addressed.
Just completed an additional 1,135 residential lots and another 270 residential lots in Wainimbuku State that is expected to be completed by August this year. This will increase current total residential housing lots to 1,405.
Kumar says that while the government will continue to address the affordability of home ownership, it will also increase their focus on the low and middle income earners.
Gone are the days when we tend to forget this segment. We would like to see that this segment is catered for. The very poor of our country. And now you will witness in all housing subdivisions, we will cater for such people.
Continuing to support the Housing Authority's role to provide home ownership, the government allocated a $4.9 million grant in the 2016 budget for the cost of building infrastructure for the Matavolivoli housing project in Nandi. Kumar says the government also maintains its $10 million housing assistance for first home owners. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Members of the Employment Relations Advisory Board met today to discuss the International Labour Organization tripartite mission next week. Notably absent, however, were representatives from the Fiji Trades Union Congress. Maggie Boyle tells us why.
Chaired by the Solicitor General Sharada Sharma, the 30-member Employment Relations Advisory Board held a briefing this morning. While members representing the government, employers and workers trickled in, the Fiji Trades Union Congress was nowhere to be seen. The meeting still went ahead, lasting 2.5 hours. Members were supplied briefing notes on the ILO governing body decisions from last year and notes from previous ERAB sittings. Fiji Islands Council of Trade Unions General Secretary Atar Singh says the meeting was as expected.
I was disappointed because the real issues, the issues that really matter, the issues that we have been arguing about and the ILO is focusing on, were really not matters for discussion. I mean, and I can understand because they are probably before ILO.
Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation representative Harvey Probert told FBC News that discussions went reasonably well. ERAB members are expected to have a joint session with the ILO team next Wednesday. When contacted for comments on the ERAB meeting, Solicitor General Sharvila Sharma told FBC News that a statement will be released later. The ILO-sanctioned tripartite mission will hold one-on-one meetings from next week with the tripartite partners, in addition to a collective with ERAB. The team will report back to the ILO's governing body in March, explaining the difficulties with the Fiji government, the unions and the employers failing to agree to labour law reform plans. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Now, President Major General Chiochi Konrote is concerned about the state of the nation's health given the increasing level of non-communicable diseases in Fiji. The President made his concern known during a traditional welcoming ceremony by the Republic of the Fiji Military Forces. Alan Stoltz reports.
Following military tradition, the Commander-in-Chief inspected the Guard of Honour at Queen Elizabeth Barracks in Nambua, Suva. He then shared his views on the alarming statistics on non-communicable diseases.
So just a friendly reminder, I'm very worried about the state of health of this nation. And this institution, we should be showing the example of being fit and well because of the task that you and I have been obligated to perform under the Constitution.
The RFMF accorded the President a full traditional welcome, recognizing him as the head of state. Major General Chiochi Konrote also took the opportunity to remind soldiers and naval officers of the crucial role they play.
You and I are bound by two sets of laws, military law and civil law. Make sure that what we do are well within the bounds of the law. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Commissioner of Police and thank him. You and I are also obligated to help him and the police in maintaining law and order.
Members of the government who attended the ceremony include the Prime Minister of Orenge, Mbani Marama, the Attorney General, Ayasaid Kayum, as well as the head of the police and navy and other cabinet ministers. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
2,000 locals are expected to leave Fiji this year under the Seasonal Workers Program. Labour and Employment Minister Semi Corella-Visau has reminded those applying that these jobs are physically intensive. Eleanor Trangaviu has more on the story.
These 7 women and 3 men have been told the importance of putting in a good day's work as they left for Victoria, Australia to harvest tomatoes.
Hopefully they will be able to generate enough income for them to save money and come back to their villages, to their settlement, and be able to start something small. Hopefully create some opportunity for them to start SMEs, small to medium enterprises, so that they can create employment for themselves, and also they have their families in Fiji.
The group will only be in Australia for 4 months, and the briefing by the Labour Minister Semi Corella-Visau is to rely on the unity as Fijians whilst away from home.
They will market Fiji's ability to be able to conduct and able to work as seasonal workers, which will provide the opportunities for our other people. There's thousands of people lined up to actually, they are the fortunate ones that have been picked now, but it will give the opportunity for others to follow on from here.
Corella-Visau says despite some Fijian workers breaking immigration laws, our relationship with Australia and New Zealand remains solid.
I had thought that it would create a problem, but it has not. I have been able to talk to our Australian and New Zealand counterparts and come to a understanding on the issue. Australia and New Zealand will handle that portion of it. We will basically send our people and make sure that they come back. We debrief them before they go back to their settlements and their villages.
Another batch of workers are expected to leave for Australia in the coming months. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
The Department of Fisheries has frozen the payment of goodwill to customary fishing right owners. Fishermen usually pay levies to Ngolingoli owners and to provincial officers before applying for and obtaining a license. However, it's come to light that resource owners have been increasing their levies. As of today, fishermen will apply directly to the Fisheries Department.
all goodwill payments or fishing levies, which are often paid to resource user right owners, are to be abolished in all divisions for 2016, and this directive and policy shall come into effect immediately from today, Wednesday, the 20th of January, 2016.
The ministry will undertake countrywide consultation and awareness program with relevant stakeholders. Still to come, a multi-million-dollar development underway in Nandi.
And I love Mirchi FM.
Hi, my name is Sonny from Canberra. I love listening Mirchi FM online.
मैं हूँ उर्मिला देवी आसियासी तावा से जितेन शांडिल को और अश्निल को तावा में लॉक कर दिया जाए.
हम लोग यहाँ से कब में मिर्ची FM सुनता है. मिर्ची FM is hot.
I'm Shelly in Tanga Nursery. Mirchi music simply bindas in nursery.
मैं अशफाक वालिद हुसैन मिर्ची FM मेरे नस नस में.
Mirchi FM.
Welcome back to FBC News. Now, the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation has found people trying to take advantage of the Child and Protection Allowance. The ministry has come across cases where parents leave their children in the care of other family members who then apply for this assistance. Permanent Secretary Dr. Josefa Correvueta, while speaking on FBCTV's Speak Your Mind, said parents with stable incomes are trying to dip into the scheme using their children and other relatives.
We know instances, and there's some observations seen by us. There's a trend that when working couples go out into urban areas, they leave their children with their grandparents. And some of them have come to us and said, we are financially incapable to look after these children. And they resort to CNP. So I said, we really need to look at cases like this so that we tackle the roots.
The government has allocated $3.2 million for Child and Protection Allowance in 2016. A new $25 million facility is being built by the Motibai Group to serve as its corporate headquarters. The Lenga Lenga facility will also act as its storage site for the Western Division, a stone's throw away from the Nandi International Airport. Madhim Boletamana with this story.
Frequent travellers between Naisoso and Lautoka would have wondered what this development at a once vacant lot is all about.
This is where our strategic warehouse and our administration office gonna be once it's complete. And what happens is that at the moment our warehouses and our operations, particularly in the Western Division, are scattered all over the place from Ba up to Nandi. So this will be a one-stop shop for us.
The multi-million-dollar project includes a west-based storage facility for the retail giant.
So what you see here is phase one, which will be our warehouses. As you know, our operations have grown over the years and we have warehouses scattered all over the place. So now everything will be under one roof and it will be both for dry and cold storage.
With this investment, the group is also looking at increasing its staff numbers as well.
We are growing, our business is expanding, the likes of we are having Burger King, so with the increasing business we cannot be understaffed, so definitely this will generate employment for many people of Fiji.
The project is expected to be completed by September this year. Madhim Boletamana, FBC News.
More rural and remote communities are getting clean, safe drinking water through the Ministry of Works water purification projects. Eleanor Turangaivu reports 40 projects were undertaken last year.
14 villages and settlements in the west, 13 in the Central Eastern Division and 13 in the north now have water purification systems thanks to the Department of Works.
It's a natural treatment of water where you don't need chemicals, and I think the villages themselves are quite fortunate to have been able to have such facilities in their village, in their communities, where they have now been able to access safe, clean water.
Naivindamu villages in Madhuwata, Vunalevu, for the first time drank clean and safe water last week after their water purification system was installed at a cost of just over $30,000. Ravuka village, also in Madhuwata, has a new $34,000 system, pumping clean drinking water to 9 households.
I'm really thankful that from now on we will be drinking good clean water and we won't be facing water problems.
The project involves the purifying of water through natural means. This year, more rural settlements will get their own systems installed.
It's very much in line with our constitution in terms of one's right to safe, clean water. And the department, the Ministry of Infrastructure is working hard in ensuring that we do all we can in reaching those targets.
10 systems are being installed by the Department of Works this month from a $2 million allocation in the 2015 budget. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
The start of the school year has brought early morning traffic jams to the Suva-Nosori corridor. As thousands of people head into Suva City for work and children travel to school, the road network is under increasing pressure. Kelly Vadala was out early this morning and files this report.
It's an everyday occurrence, thousands of vehicles descending on the highway at peak hour.
It's 6:15 and in an hour traffic is expected to start here at the Langere Bridge.
As the clock hits 7 a.m., the congestion quickly picks up. Most motorists come onto the highway at the same time, causing bottleneck at some critical locations. For 35-year-old Ziba Singh, waking up her children for school before traffic starts is a priority.
Plus I have to wake my kids up early in the morning due to the traffic, because sometimes when they miss the bus, they have to miss school because there's so much traffic on the road.
Authorities say that the number of vehicles on this stretch of the road has increased because more people these days own cars and there is very little planning before daily trips. Drivers who commute through the Suva-Nosori corridor but live far from the capital have to leave home pretty early too.
Some mornings I am always caught up in traffic and this causes me to be late to work. As for me, I know I have to wake up early in the morning so I can avoid the traffic. And secondly, I think there should be more police officers on the roads so that there can be a good flow of vehicles.
For a particular taxi driver, Sunil Chand, traffic slows down his daily job.
If you're gonna come from Nosori to Suva, very hard to come. Like if it's take like nearly 1 hour. Like the traffic in taxi, sometimes we can do the job properly in the traffic.
Traffic police were visible at various locations this morning trying to keep congestion at a minimum, but the numbers seem more than what the road network can handle. The Land Transport Authority had people managing traffic, but in this instant they happened to catch a drunk driver in the middle of peak hour. Commuters and motorists using the Suva-Nosori corridor are advised to leave home early. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
A special police team has been visiting homes in Nakasi Nasinu, meeting residents and discussing safety tips. Divisional Police Commander Eastern SSP Maritino Ngiolevu says Nakasi Police Station receives the most number of complaints in the division. SSP Ngiolevu says members of the community will be asked to fill questionnaires, which will be used to prepare strategies to improve on services. And this new approach is in line with Acting Commissioner of Police Brigadier General Sitiveni Ngiliho's new concept of proactive policing. Prime Minister Varenga Bainimarama and his cabinet ministers toured the refurbished Latter-day Saints Church in Suva. During the visit, Bainimarama urged the church to invite non-members too as well. During the tour, the Prime Minister was given a copy of his genealogy as a gift from the church. News Service Centre Manager Adolf Johansson says the church is grateful for the visit.
For us, represents the family, and the purpose of the temple is to bind families together, not only for time but for all eternity. That is the true purpose of the temple, and you will get that feeling that you are close to God. We just felt so delighted that the leader of our country would come and visit the LDS temple, or the temple of the Church of Jesus Christ.
The church will be open for public viewing from Monday to Saturday next week. Sports is up next. Here's Jamie.
Thank you, Amrita, and good evening. In sports tonight, selection process becomes tougher for Ben Ryan. And under-23 side go down in their first match in Spain. We'll have this and more after the break.
Hola, I'm Dori from Nasinu Market. My choice is simple, Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
My name is Yvonne. I'm from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Sayandra, my name is Sunny. Only the Gold FM at Golden Point Resort, Raki Raki.
Hi, I'm Anna of Nasinu. When it comes to a radio, my choice is always Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Anna and I'm from Nandi. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The selection process for the Vodafone Fiji 7 side is becoming tougher for each World Series tournament. However, Coach Ben Ryan says he's not too worried about this dilemma, as this gives him a chance to choose the best team for the next assignment in Wellington and Sydney. Tale Ndadakadaka reports.
It was a physical battle on the field today as the Fiji 7 squad continued its preparations for the next leg of the World Series. Even Jerry Tuwai and Apisai Ndomolailai had to sit out the session to nurse some bumps from the rough stuff.
Even if I say it's just hold and not full tackle in training, you know, the boys are competing for places and they're going to be whacking each other the next few days. So I've got fingers crossed that we can make sure that there's no injuries come Friday.
Semi Kunatani is expected to join camp from France today, adding even more competition to the squad.
With his contract in Toulouse, that he would be available for a number of tournaments this year, so that's been factored in. The boys are aware of that, you know, and they want the team to be as good as it can, so they welcome him joining us into the training squad. I don't think any of the boys need wake-up calls anymore because I've seen how they're acting off the field. They know the competition is there. They all want to be in that 12 to get into the Olympic Games.
It's expected to be another brutal session in training tomorrow before the final 14-member squad is named on Friday for the Wellington Sevens. Talendo Takavaka, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Livewire halfback Aminoni Nasilasila was back to his usual best after missing out on the first two tournaments due to injury. Nasilasila was a key player in Ryan's lineup last season prior to an injury sustained in Lambasa, causing him to miss the Dubai and Cape Town Sevens last year.
He's training well. He's smashing the fitness at the moment and looking pretty sharp. Obviously, he can cover wing or halfback, which is a bonus to us. You know, Savi's having to do a huge amount of work at the moment as wing, and there's certainly times where I'd like to give him a little bit of rest, certainly on day one. If we've got a few backup winger options, which I think we're going to see emerge over the next few tournaments, and that's going to be great.
Nasilasila is amongst the eight players in the 20-member squad competing for the halfback and playmaker positions. The Vodafone Fiji Under-23 football side went down to Levante last night in its first match on tour in Spain. Despite the 2-0 loss, coach Frank Farina is pleased with his side's performance and commended his boys for sticking to the game plan.
You can see that a lot of them are professional players, but I was pleased with the way the boys played in terms of the structure. We lost 2-0, but in terms of the outcome of the game, I was pleased with the performance of the boys. No, we've got 3 games in 3 days, so we can't expect players to be playing 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. So we'll rotate them. So today we made, I think, 7 changes, or 8 changes during the game, and tomorrow we'll start with a different team again and make changes throughout the game.
Fiji plays the Hercules side in its second match tomorrow. The side is using this tour as a build-up towards the Rio Olympic Games in August. Fiji secured a 2-2 draw with Papua New Guinea yesterday to book their spot in the semi-finals of the 2016 OFC Under-17 Women's Championship underway in the Cook Islands. Fiji will now face tournament favourites New Zealand in the semi-finals at 12 p.m. on Friday. New Caledonia will play Papua New Guinea in the second semi-final. The winner of the tournament qualifies for the FIFA Women's Under-17 World Cup. For the first time in the history of Fiji hockey, a player has gained a full scholarship to study and play in New Zealand. 18-year-old Owen Smith of Maris Men's Hockey Club will leave for New Zealand this weekend to study at and play hockey for the Kelston Boys High School in Auckland.
Yeah, I'm very excited because it hasn't been in the scholarship, because it's been only rugby and soccer. It's like the first in Fiji for hockey, so I'm really excited.
The Maris Men's Hockey Club is hopeful that more players will be able to secure similar scholarships in the near future. That was your sports for this evening. It's back to Amrita now with business.
Vodafone Fiji has announced a winner from its Christmas promotion. Isimeli Masanga, an IT officer, walked away with $50,000. Masanga won the cash after he bought a new handset from Vodafone Fiji last year. The competition automatically entered the name of the customers into the draw for every purchase from a Vodafone outlet. It was another day of blue skies and fine weather across the nation. Temperatures were a little cooler than yesterday. Mombasa was the warmest centre at 34 degrees. All the rest were at 30 or 31. Tomorrow looks like it will be much like today, but there is a slim chance of light scattered showers in the afternoon. Looking ahead toward Friday and the weekend, we can expect the good weather to continue. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate swells are expected. Recapping the main stories, the Fisheries Minister has a frozen goodwill payment to all owners of traditional fishing grounds. New housing subdivision in Nasinu to provide homes for more than 400 families. And Fiji military welcomes its new commander-in-chief. On to this week's question, and we are asking: was back-to-school shopping cheaper this year? You can visit our FBC website to take part. Thank you for joining us at FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Nasinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on